Thank you very much for taking the time to evaluate the Money Time Tax Service software. The purpose of this video is simply an introduction. We're going to make this as fast and as painless as possible, as well as attempt to make tax preparation software exciting. So our platform is 100% online, web-based software, extremely easy to use, designed for the seasoned professional as well as the novice preparer. I believe you'll agree that this software is probably the easiest professional software you've ever seen. I'm going to log in as a basic preparer this morning, so that we're only going to be doing a tax return. We're not going to deal with any of the administrative functions. Strictly doing a basic tax return. So I'm going to log in here to our website, which is moneytime.cloudtaxoffice.com, and we set up a demo office with this login. Again, moneytime.cloudtaxoffice.com. Preparer name is Demo 2013, and the password is also Demo 2013. So I'm going to log in, and as you can see, we are in Office Demo. My preparer credentials as just a preparer allow me to do three things: start a return, look at existing returns in the database, and do any prior year returns as well. So if I needed to go back to 2011. In our subsequent videos for administration or management, we will touch on office configuration, reports, and then check printing as well. For right now, we want to focus on just doing a basic tax return. So I click Start a new tax return. It pops up a reminder, hey, you need to get your 7216 signed, which is the IRS way of doing things, pre-tax return. So we click OK. It's going to take us to our initial screen, which is to create the return using the Social Security number. And we're going to do double entry to make sure that we didn't fat finger something here. And then we're going to click Continue. At this point, a return will be created in the database, and it's letting us know that this is not a returning client, that this is a brand new client to us, so it's not pulling any database data forward from the prior year. Where we start is at our filing status information. Now, the layout of this screen is incredibly simple to navigate. It should be very familiar. If you know how to read, you should feel very comfortable because it works left to right here. So we start out in our basic information, then we go to our federal section, to our state section, summary, to e-file. If we need to do amendment, you can go ahead there. And when you're in a section, what happens is it drops down and it gives you the subpoints or the subsections of the main section. So basic information, filing status, personal information to dependents. So that's going to be our workflow in this screen. Another nice function to point out, actually this is awesome, is the Si habla español. If you are a Spanish-speaking preparer, you can function and operate in Spanish mode. And voila, everything is in Spanish. I believe all of this to be correct text, but I don't speak Spanish or read Spanish, so I'm going to convert it back to English. And we're going to go through and do our tax return. Now, each section provides you one of two options: either just fill in the information, or you can do the wizard. So I don't need you to hold my hand, and yes, I would like a little additional assistance. So I'm going to click Continue. We're going to go to Personal Information, and we're going to go and put in money, time, date of birth 5/5, and we'll just scroll down. Sales. Put in our address here. This is real common information. And 3016. So, I mean, not too much going on here. Nothing real tricky about the basic taxpayer information screen. If you did have a spouse, it would ask you for the spouse's information as well. I'm going to click Continue here. And it's going to ask us, did we have any dependents? Individuals who rely on you for support. Each time you're in something where it's asking you for whether or not you have this situation or you have this form, it's also going to provide you a brief description of what that form pertains to and basically give you a quick synopsis of what it does and who it's for. So I'll show you that as we get into additional screens. But for dependents, we're going to put in Penny time. It pulls the last name forward. 5/5/2002. And I'm going to put in D for daughter. If you click on the drop down, you can see you have all of the relationships there. They queue off of the first letter of the relationship. Now, if I was a full-time student, or this dependent was a full-time student, you can go ahead and click on that, and you would just go ahead and enter the school information right there. If you had a disabled child, unfortunately, it drops down and gives you the ability to put in the disability type. So very nice, very easy to navigate. When I click continue, it's going to then take me to my federal section, or actually, sorry, allow me to add an additional dependent. When I click continue from here, it's going to take me to my federal section. And like I had mentioned before, I can either do it myself, enter in, jump straight to the line, or I can use the guide me through it. This is the more so the hand holding. If you really have experience in preparation and you know your form numbers and you don't want to mess with anything as far as clicking through screens or menus or the navigation stuff, the tools to make it easier, you can use the form finder over here on the right hand side, and you can just type in the form number and click on it. Maybe it's not a W-2, maybe it's a 1099. Maybe you don't know the form number. You can see it's very comprehensive. Maybe you don't know the form number, but you know a description, like it's relating to child. It'll pull up all your child forms, or it's schedule such and such. Oh, it's schedule R, or H. I don't know what a schedule H is, to be honest. But if I want to enter it myself, or I can use the guide me, just to show you. It's going to take us, first question, most commonly used federal form, do you have a W-2? What is a description or a explanation of a W-2? What does it do? Okay, I'm going to click yes. It's going to take me into my W-2 form. There is a dynamic, meaning build as you go database for EINs. It won't be pre-populated with your information, but the first time you enter that information, it will then pull it forward. I put in a Florida state return, so we're not going to do any state withholdings. We'll do some elected deferrals, $1,000, and we're going to click continue. One of the nice things here is that the program will show you your refund amount over here on the right hand side as you go. It does take into account the fact that you may qualify for EIC. You're going to have to do your EIC due diligence questions, but it is taking that into account based on your current income. So if I didn't want to continue through the guide me tool here, so I go to income, did you receive a state refund last year, 1099-G, I'm going to say no. Do you have any interest in dividends? No. So if you're done with that and you know you don't have any more income, or maybe you do have income but it's a Schedule C and you don't want to click through the menu, just type in Schedule C and it's going to take you right into your Schedule C. Now the Schedule C is broken up into its component parts. So you've got the business name as Paintright, and we'll use the social, the address 255 Easy Street 23016, and you have their business code. You can click on this list and it'll pop up a very nice list of business codes. You don't have to enter a business code if you do put in a description here. And if it was requiring something like that business code or a description, and I did not put it in, it will throw an error in the screen that you're in and request that you supply the required information prior to moving on. Here you have your questions about your operation. 99% of the time you really don't even need to go into the screen because they're answered correctly. Cash is your accounting method, cost as your inventory method, and you materially participated. So Don't really have to do much in there. In income, very simply, you're going to go in and put in your gross receipts or sale. What did we do? We did $7,100. And if you had any other income, you can go ahead and put that in there. And under general expenses, this is not where you do your depreciation or your mileage. This is just your basic expenses for advertising. We had some insurance. We had some office expenses. We had some travel. And some supplies. So we're going to go ahead and click continue. From here, we're going to do our mileage. If you had car and truck expenses, you're going to go ahead and click begin. And as you can see, this is very, very simple. We had a truck, and it was placed in service on 5/5/2012, and we drove 12,000 miles, and we had 1,200 in commuting and 120 in other. And then you just check these boxes. Maybe. There we go. Go ahead and click continue. And our vehicle's in there. If you had any additional vehicles, you can go ahead and click add there. If we had any depreciation, you would simply click on depreciation. If you had other expenses that weren't taken into account in the general expenses, maybe a cell phone or a uniform or whatever the case may be. And you'll just enter it in right there. And I don't need any more. Okay. If we had any deductions, you click on deductions. Guide me or enter myself. Guide me is very helpful. Helps you think about all of the things that you could possibly deduct. But we'll just, for time's sake, go to enter myself. And we've got our adjustments, standard deductions, itemized deductions, credits, and compare deductions. I'm just going to click on our itemized deductions real quick just to show you how easy it is to navigate. Very, very simple. 2106, miscellaneous deductions, less common. I mean, it just breaks it down. Very, very easy to navigate. And we'll see what's in there real quick. Casualties and losses, business use of home, investment interest. Now, if we get into a section and we don't need to continue there, again, you can click on any of these things and jump around. You don't have to continue forward. You can just click back on maybe income, and it'll take you right back to the income. Or you could just come over here and type in a form number. When you're done entering all your forms, you can go to the Summary tab or the E-File tab, depending on how you'd like to operate. The Summary tab is going to give you a breakdown of your tax return and basically a summary view, as it states, and you can print the results. But if you click in here to your total income, it says you have 25,000 in wages, you have 1,900 in loss, business loss, and you go into taxes and credits. It breaks all of your standard deductions, all of your credits, your child tax credit, all of that information's in there. So if you wanted to print this for the customer, you can. It gives you your gross refund, not less any fees. So we probably won't talk to them about their gross because they're going to get some fees taken out of there. So from here, it's going to give me I believe it gives me the statement if I wanted to provide any information to the IRS. Nope, sorry, EIC checklist first. Was the taxpayer a non-resident alien for any part of the year? No. And you can navigate this just by clicking tab and using wire in or arrowing through. Was a taxpayer qualifying child of another person? No. Yes, 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 yes. Did you keep the records found below? What records are we talking about? Who provided the information? Taxpayer spouse. And what did they bring in as far as business documentation? What did you make copies of to validate their Schedule C business? Their bank statement, other, I don't know. What was it? PayPal statement. Qualifying child. Does Penny qualify anybody else for EIC? No. And what documents did you bring in to prove the relationship, the dependent social serve? Great. Go ahead and click OK. From here, it's going to take us to that statement I was talking about if we wanted to send a message to the IRS. Couple additional tools over here. You do a quick file, notes, contact for your support, and then just a couple of other resources we don't have time to go into on this video. From here, it's going to give us our pass-through page, which will allow us to determine our refund type, how we're going to, our disbursement method, and you have all of your different options. You're going to paper file a return. You're going to do a debit card, a deposit, a check printed out in your office, or our bank is TFS, Tax Layer Financial Services. So we're going to click Tax Layer Financial. I click Next. It takes me to if I wanted to put in my client email to communicate information out. I don't have a billing schedule set up in this demo office, so we would be entering our fees here. You can have up to a $99 e-file fee, a $350 prep fee. Sorry, not your prep fee can actually go up to $9.99. If you have the combination of your prep fee and your e-file fee need to be less than $999. So if I put in $800 here, or sorry, $900 here, it shouldn't give me any issue. Let's see if it does give me an issue if I put like $1,250 in. And we'll see here in a minute. It'll probably throw a flag on me. Click Next to my bank app. What's our driver's license? And the issue date was 1/10/10 of 2010, 10/10 of 2017, and we're in Florida. Click Next and save. All right, cool. This is the point where you'll determine what you want to print for your customer, whether you're going to print 1 copy or 2 copies, just print the federal. Your bank documents and all of your information will print out in this as well. When the returns, you want to actually send the return, you're going to click Return Complete. That's an important step to click on the Return Complete. And here's your customer's net check. Mr. Taxpayer, you will be getting back $5,281. Do you want me to send this return now? Great. Sign this. Let's go. And you just click Save and Transmit. When I click Save and Transmit, that sends that tax return off to the IRS. We'll get a response back soon. And that response will be posted back into this client list as well as into your report. So if you want to go in and look at your reports to see if there's anything done. As you can see, I've got 2 returns that are completed. We've got money time that's sent out, and then we have these 2 returns in progress. To search for returns, you can filter the return just by typing in the Social Security or typing in the first or last name into that search option, and it will locate the return you're looking for. So again, thank you very much for evaluating the MoneyTime Tax Service software. If you would like to contact us, our website's moneytimetax.com, or you can email us at info@moneytimetax.com, or you can call us, our preferred method, at 866-252-5829. Thank you very much for your time. We look forward to speaking with you and working with you this upcoming tax season. Have a great day.